Right. Hello, everyone. And welcome to early December here on the Maritimes. Some fluffy snow, whitish stuff falling down outside. But I'm inside where it's warm and talking once again to Juan Carlos. So how are you doing on this fine day?
Lovely. We do have the white scenery that looks beautiful because it's stuck to the trees and everything. So it's actually a very nice scene here. So
Wonderful. They always tell me that the weather pattern is so different in Happy Valley in Acadia compared to St. FX. So, but it seems like we're getting about the same system right now.
I think so. And the system was also in Montreal because I was snowed in all day yesterday as I was coming back from Bishop. So
Excellent. Yes. Well, I'm glad that you made it home safely. So tell us a little bit about where we're at with Better Together. Where are we in the season? I know we've got, is it Jay Londero that is coming this week sometime to sort of finish off the end of this season. But can you recap a little bit of what we've seen so far and what's to come?
well, we had a wonderful November. It was really active and very busy. So we had one of our own maple leaguers from Mount Allison, Sasha the Wolf, and she had a session on Indigenous perspective in community-led work. That was wonderful. And then after that, we started getting our Maple League hosts. So we brought people from other places. So we had a talk by Tom Mitchell from CMU, and he talked about artificial intelligence and where it's taking education, and that was fascinating. It was well, you remember you were at that talk.
Yes.
So they were showing how we can use this technology to better the way we teach and support our students. It was actually quite amazing, very well attended. We got a bunch of people in.
Yeah.
We also brought some people from the Gold Museum of Cartagena, Museum Senu, and they came to talk about how they did integrative museography in this last exhibit that they have now running. And it was also fascinating and heartwarming and an amazing session. So that was actually quite fun because we're doing it in English with translation in Spanish. So I have yet to see how the video is going to look like at the end. But we will see. And now we're going to close in the Maple League host session with Jay Lorindo. And with that, we're going to give you a break, and we'll come back in January with more to offer. I don't think I'm allowed to say yet. So we will have a wonderful lineup. How about that?
Yes, great. Yes, I have some inside information, but I will not share. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where it brings us in the new year. And the micro-credential as well, I guess your group is continues on and going strong.
Yeah, we have 19 people. They are working. We have met a couple of times. We are defining projects. We are at a good point. They have done their first assignment, and I do air quotes because it's not quite an assignment, a reflection. And we're shaping what they are going to be doing the rest of the semester, and we have very interesting projects, including collaboration, which is the first time that we do. So they are working,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're on it.
Fantastic. Yeah. I want to update a little bit about the shared courses. We had 5. So we have 5 courses this year across the Maple League, and that's simply in our process now, you're just opening up some seats. And so these were 5 instructors that opened up some seats in their courses for Maple League students from other institutions who get to hop on in a bit of a modified letter of permission process. So that's been successful in a few cases. We'd like to have more, and I'll just want to put out already that if you're thinking about a fall or winter course for next year, and you think that you may be able to offer some seats in your course to some other Maple League students, I'd like to get 10 next year. So I'd love to be able to double the number that we had this year. It's the process, we've simplified it incredibly. So simply reach out to me, jtrace@stfx.ca. Send me an email and let me know what course it is, and if you have seats available and those seats are accessible to students across the Maple League, then we would love to make that happen and open up that possibility for the Maple League students. So we're excited to the pivot that we've made on shared courses, and now to kind of grow them from there. Another thing that happens across the Maple League is we get applications for 3M fellows. So from faculty that we've supported in putting together an application, and then students as well. So I wonder if Juan Carlos, if you wanted to mention some of the supports that we have available for students thinking about an application.
So the faculty are done, applications are in, and we got representation for all 4 schools. There are dossiers going in, and we did that with the support of other former 3M fellows and other faculty from different places. So it was a long process. Those of us who have been on that end know that the amount of work that go into that. So we were really happy to see those applications going forward. That in itself is quite an accomplishment. So kudos to everyone who worked on this. And for the students, they have until the end of January to apply for the fellowship. And right now we hosted a session, an information session for students across the 4 universities, and now we're matching former 3M fellows with those students, and also so the one thing that we're able to do is that we support nominators and students as they work on their applications, and we give them a deadline of so that they know where they should be at during the process, how to ask for letters, the mechanics of it. But the very neat, I think that the most useful part is that we get students connected with peer mentors, and that is already happening. I've actually met a few of these students, and a few of them actually encourage their peers to apply across institutions. I just heard yesterday from a student from Mount Allison, that new student at Acadia that they have met through work, marvelous work they all do, and they, the student from Mount Allison encouraged the student from Acadia, and now this student is putting the application forward. Thanks to that connection. So it is wonderful, and it's happening, and that's where magic happens. And that's a part I really love of seeing this unfold. And we'll see next year when the awards are handed out.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of awards and projects, recently I was up in Moncton. Seawell had their sort of East Coast chapter, Day of Learning. And so they had a number of different institutions represented from the Maritimes, from the East Coast, coming together to do some learning. We had a great session on the economy at the moment, and the growth patterns that are happening in the Maritimes. And an economist presented to us that he would say a number of things that he thought he would never say in his lifetime about inflation, about housing, about population growth in the Maritimes, and how those changes and effects are going to have flow-on effects for the next 5-10 years in our province, implications for policy, implications for government. So that was a wonderful session. We also heard from the CEO of Edunova, talking about some of the issues facing international students these days, the supports that they offer, and the implications for our institutions as well. And then we had a session on the future of work integrated learning and some of the new things that are happening, not just co-op anymore. So all of the different types of work integrated learning that are happening. And Seawell's been a funder of projects that have the genesis inside the Maple League before. They're very interested in projects where we can all work together on collaboration. So if you've got an idea for a project out there that you wanted to pitch by me and use me as a conduit to Seawell, that would be fantastic. And it was great for me to make those relationships with Krista Steves and the rest at Seawell, and we'll make sure and follow up on that. And as I mentioned, that travel to Moncton, I know somebody else who's been traveling a little bit, and that's yourself, Juan Carlos. Tell us a little bit about the journeys that you've had recently.
Well, as soon as my labs were over at Acadia, I drove down to Saint-Ofex, and I was sitting in that wonderful space that Jack was so kind to share with me, and I met with many of the colleagues, some from the micro certificate, some colleagues that we have connected through the mentorship program for 3M and what have you. It was amazing. I went to a microbiology class where I sat as a student and I participated, and the students actually spoke to me, and we were supposed to figure out this question. So that was an amazing class. I wanted to stay and take that micro class with Jesse, but I had to come back. I also went to the magic that happens every Friday in Fit for Tots, and I had the opportunity to see part of the setting up of the gym. And then I saw the community members and kids and students that work with these kids, attending, and I had a chance to talk to them and talk about how that is an integral part of their education, and it's outside of the classroom, but it's actually quite amazing for them and very inspiring students and fun to be around kids.
Yes.
And then I did go to Bishops too, and in Bishops I was really busy. So I was able to, I gave a guest lecture with an eco-criticism class that went extremely well. I went to a session for land-based learning with an elder that comes and visits. I visit many of the colleagues I've worked with before, and I met many of the students. Some of them I had only met online. So those students that came in the Better Together session, the first session that we had in the season with Susanna Breen John Square, I met some of the students that she had brought to this session. So it was quite something. One of them actually recognized me. I didn't recognize her in person, and she turned and said, "We've met online." So that was really lovely. And then I top up that work week the few days of the week that I was at Bishops, I joined a retreat they have for students in leadership. It was called Generativity is Hope. And in there we had students mainly from Bishops, but also from Mount Allison that are really students leaders that have done excellent work, and this retreat was helping them shape how they can continue their work and how they can grow their impact. Amazing. If you have the opportunity to spend time with these students, you will have hope for the future. We will be in a much better place because of people like this. It was really, really eye-opening. And then, it was snowed in, but that was okay. I did make it back here, but I was really happy to have the opportunity to go there, and I will go into Mount Allison this winter because I have to complete the rounds, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm going to try to get out once every term to all four of the institutions. Of course, Saint-Ofex is kind of easy for me. All I have to do is come in and sit, but the rest takes a bit of travel. And actually, I'm headed to Acadia this week. I've got a meeting with some folks, a number of folks on teaching and learning, on continuing education. We're going to meet, Scott and I are going to meet around some things cooking up on the recruitment front. So some fun initiatives there. And then I'm going to head up to in January, been invited to come to Mount Allison again. And then in February, I'm going to head back up to Bishops. So just continue to make time on my schedule to get out to all of the institutions and see people. And I want to get to that point, Juan Carlos, where people just assume that we work there, right? So when we walk around campus, any four of the institutions will say, "Oh yeah, that's that guy, he's here." So that would be fantastic. So looking forward to those trips as well. So That's a little bit about what's happening around the Maple League at the moment.
I have one more thing actually
please do.
that I forgot to mention that is really important. I was at Bishop, so I was able to run the book club, the last book club on last Friday, and I ran it with Sam, the educational developer from Integrated Learning at Bishop's, and we ran it together from the same place. So that was really neat. But also the neat thing is that we're gonna meet the authors. So we were reading Academic Ableism, and we're gonna meet Jay Domash next week. And Tony Roberts from Mount Allison is gonna be hosting Jay, and we're gonna meet with all the participants in the book club with the author. So I'm really looking forward to that meeting.
Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful session. That's fantastic. Great. Okay. Well, we've got lots going on. We probably won't have, and we won't do this in December because I've got to prepare a written report. I got to actually do a little bit of work, prepare a written report. We've got our governing board meeting in December, so we'll do that. But we'll Juan Carlos and I will be back here in January, giving you updates across the league, and just excited to see all of the relationships that we've been able to create and all the conversations we've been involved in across all four of the institutions this fall. So looking for even more in the winter, and can't wait for that Better Together schedule coming out and some of those events in the new year.
Excellent. Thank you, Jack.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.